Some projects change you, not because of what you paint, but because of what you face while painting it. I've closed deals on WhatsApp before,
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass.
and that is how this one started too. A church ceiling in Asokoro, Abuja, a midnight sky. It sounded like a regular mirror, but it was not a regular mirror. My brother Albert got there first. While I was on the road, crossing state lines somewhere in Nigeria tarmac, he was already standing at the base of that scaffolding, looking up, alone. Just him and the silence of the church ceiling that has never been designed before. I kept texting him, "How does it feel up there? What are you thinking?" His reply was short, "Benjamin, this is bigger, especially from up there." I arrived late, close to 8 p.m. We sat together that night and talked, not about colors or cloud formations. Talked about the weight of it, what it meant to say yes to something this large when you've never done it before. Albert has already carried that weight for a full day without me. I saw it in his face. We prepared our minds for what was coming. I'd rice and egg sauce, a bath, and then drive to the location. En route, I started doubting myself. Could I really do this? What if the ceiling was bigger than the brief described? I pushed the question down. I told myself, you've come this far. Now do what you have to do. And then I walked in and saw it. The ceiling stretched wider than I'd imagined. The scaffolding reached up into the dark like something industrial. I took the first climbs. The church floor below grew smaller. I kept my eyes forward. Looking down made it worse, not because of the height itself, but because of what I realized standing up there. When you're on the ground, you fear for the person above you. But when you take their place, the fear changes. It becomes something else. I was more scared looking up at Albert on day one than I was when I was the one up there. Fear lives in the imagination more than in the reality. The goal of day two was base colors, but I'll be honest with you, the real goal was simpler than that. Get up, get down, stay alive. That was it. I was scared of heights my entire life. On day two, I decided my will had to be bigger than that fear. We started painting the cloud shapes, more tones of blue. This is where the work shifts from preparation into something raw, where technicalities and instincts have to move together, and your ability to freehand that skill is either there or it isn't. Everything looked messy. The ceiling looked worse than when we started. The scaffolding board had to be moved manually, constantly repositioned so we could reach new sections. It was physical in a way no canvas prepares you for. At one point, one of the handymen on site looked up and said they would have left the ceiling white. I smiled. I didn't say anything. That's how my process works. Ugly first. Every piece I've ever made looked like a mistake in the middle. And that's not the warning sign, it's only a phase. This was my biggest canvas at that point. On a canvas, stepping back is how you see. Up there, there's nowhere to go. Every decision you make is up close. The illusion of depth, the thing that makes a painting feel alive, has to be constructed entirely in your mind. We took 2 days away to study the reference, to observe the actual clouds, to come back with a new set of eyes. Day 4 was the telling day. I started to see mistakes, but I let them sit. There's a belief I return to again and again. There are no mistakes in art. Only decisions that lead you somewhere you didn't plan. Then the client arrived. He looked up at the ceiling for a moment, then he looked at me. This doesn't look like clouds. He walked me outside, pointed at the sky and said, "That, make sure that's what's up there." I said, "Okay." But I want to tell you what I didn't say. I didn't say we've been up on that scaffolding for 4 days. I didn't say my phone had no storage and I couldn't even document this properly. I didn't say I'm not sure my body can absorb more days of climbing. I said, okay, walked back inside and looked up at the ceiling I had to repaint sections of. That moment is where the project became a test of something beyond skill. We painted over the stars with a deeper, darker purple. That layer is what gave the clouds their mass, their sense of weight against the night sky. Depth created not by adding, but by going back and darkening what was already there. Throughout the day, I kept calling down to Albert. How does it look from where you are? This is the thing about painting a ceiling. You need someone on ground, someone whose eyes you can trust completely. Albert has become my third eye. 6 days in, I couldn't see the work anymore without him. Every mark I made above, he evaluated below. That partnership, that exchange between the one making and one witnessing, was the only way this could have been done. On day 6, he looked up and said 3 words. It's coming out. Those 3 words meant the strategy was working. They meant the days of doubts had not been wasted. They meant we were going to finish this.
So far, this won't much over shit.
We arrived on day 7, expecting closure, but we left with an addition to the scope. The client returned with something new, detail work that wasn't in the original agreement. On any other day of my life, I might have pushed back, but by day 7, the mural stopped being about the contract. It had become personal. You don't climb 40 feet for 7 days and walk away with something half finished. You finish it. We added the T-shaped stars, we finished with precision only where needed. Each decision intentional. And then, it was done. I stood on the ground for the first time in days and looked up at what we had made. A midnight sky. A ceiling in Asokoro, Abuja that carries my signature and the invisible weight of everything it took to put it there. This wasn't about the finished work. It was about remaining patient, remaining faithful to the process when it looked like nothing. About learning, finally, how to create the illusion of depth when you cannot step back to see what you're doing. The risk was high, but I've always believed the reward is worth living for. The real hero of this project wasn't me, it was Albert, who climbed when I wasn't there, who stood on ground and became my eyes when I was too close to see, who never once suggested we stop. Without him, there will be no Celine, neither any story. 40 feet up, 7 days, one brother, my biggest canvas yet. Thank you for watching and subscribe for more project documentaries from Beo Art Studio. I'm Benjamin Dudeke, the lead designer, and we are a team of specialized muralists based in Nigeria. We are open for residential and commercial commissions. To book a mural, you can use the link in the description below.